The poll also finds that an astounding number of Americans do not trust what they hear from the White House.
So with the president's credibility on the line, he's not doing himself any favors, apparently, with his frequent tweet storms. Case in point, the repeated attacks on a Democratic senator, Richard Blumenthal, while on New Day, going after the senator's war record instead of dealing with the issue. So what is the virtue of these numbers? What is the chance for change? We've got it all covered. Let's begin with CNN's Joe Johns live in Bridgewater, New Jersey, which is not a vacation, Joe.
Not a vacation, and I got to tell you, Chris, when you look at these numbers, it is pretty clear the president has a problem, and it's in stark contrast to most, if not all, of the other presidents during the age of modern polling. During the first 200 days, most of them experience a honeymoon with the voters. But the Russia investigation, as well as the lack of legislative accomplishments for this administration so far, seem to be taking their toll. A sobering assessment from the American people of President Trump's first 6 months in office. The president's job approval rating now at just 38%, its lowest point in CNN polling. Enthusiasm breaks against Trump, with 47% strongly disapproving of the job President Trump has done, compared with just a quarter who say they strongly approve. Despite the president's insistence that support among his base is getting stronger, our new poll shows otherwise. 59% of Republicans strongly approving of the president, down 14 percentage points since February. A reality senior advisor Kellyanne Conway acknowledged this week.
His approval rating among Republicans and conservative and Trump voters is down slightly. It needs to go up. They are telling him, just enact your program.
But the most alarming figure shows the White House's growing credibility crisis. An astonishing 73% of Americans do not trust most or all of what they hear from the White House. Nearly half of Republicans agree. Americans also weighing in on the president's use of Twitter.
It is a very effective form of communication. I'm not unproud of it.
I have all these millions of people, and it's a great way to get a message out.
While 45% of Americans do think the president's tweets are effective, 72% believe his tweets send the wrong message to world leaders.
I don't think that it's helpful in terms of legislation moving ahead.
And 70% say the president tweets too often in response to television news, an issue that played out in real time on Monday when President Trump tweeted about Senator Richard Blumenthal after he appeared on CNN's New Day.
That investigation must be pursued.
The president repeatedly attacking the Democratic senator's war record in a series of tweets throughout the day.
I have no idea about what is in his mind. I will not be distracted by this bullying.
The president also going after the New York Times after they published a story about Vice President Pence positioning himself for a possible run in 2020 if Trump bows out. Trump also falsely accusing the media of not covering UN sanctions on North Korea after CNN covered the story extensively all weekend. The president's tweet came at the same time Jake Tapper was reporting on the story. And the president continues to watch television news, also continues to tweet. 13 tweets yesterday, 4 so far this morning, including one talking about his briefing on the opioid crisis, which will occur later today. That'll be the first time we've seen the president on this working vacation. Chris and Allison.
Okay, we'll obviously